Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. It's time, once again, for those egocentric attention holders, Harry and Meghan. A few days ago, I had released a video talking about how Spotify had recently canceled what was left of a $20 million to $25 million 2020 contract with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle for a series of podcasts that they were supposed to produce for the streaming service. Called Archetypes, the royal couple only ever produced 12 podcast episodes for a first season, and when the contract was abruptly canceled last week, Spotify's head of podcast innovation and monetization, Bill Simmons, in his own podcast, had called the royal couple effing grifters. Now we may be getting some idea as to what prompted that description of Harry and Meghan. A new report alleges that Meghan Markle's interviews for her Archetypes podcast were not conducted by her. Pod News reported that some of the show's interviews were done by members of the Duchess's staff, and audio of her voice asking the questions was edited in later. The revelations came shortly after Spotify and Archewell said in a joint statement that they have, quote, mutually agreed to part ways and are proud of the series we made together, unquote. A source had previously said that the Archewell media company launched by Harry and Meghan didn't produce enough content to receive the full payout of the $20 million deal that they had agreed to in 2020. However, quote, Meghan is continuing to develop more content for the Archetypes audience on another platform, unquote, an Archewell Productions spokeswoman told the Wall Street Journal. Yes, somewhere out there, a handful of Meghan Markle fans are crying their eyes out over the cancellation of the Spotify podcast. Sports writer and Spotify's head of podcast innovation and monetization, Bill Simmons, slammed the couple in the wake of the fractured deal, saying that he once met with Harry about podcast ideas and called the pair effing grifters in Friday's episode of his namesake podcast. Speculation that Markle doesn't directly interview her guests started circulating when writer Alison Yarrow shared on Instagram in August of last year that she was, quote, excited to be included in the visionary series, unquote. Yet the post showed Yarrow posing in front of a sign for the audio production house Gimlet Media, and included thanks to an Archetypes producer for being, quote, an excellent interviewer, unquote. Yarrow, author of 90s Bitch, Media, Culture, and Failed Promises of Gender Equality, appeared on the podcast in the episode titled To Be or Not to Be, in which the royal discussed how calling a woman difficult is, quote, a code word for the B word, unquote. Yarrow's explanations and comments were edited and interwoven between comments from the Duchess of Sussex in the podcast audio, the Daily Mail reported in November. And that was around the time that their awful so-called docuseries had premiered on Netflix and was panned by critics and viewers alike, as I have spoken about in previous videos. Since the royal couple inked a deal with Spotify 2.5 years ago, Archetypes, which premiered in August of last year, was the only project to come out of the deal and featured just 12 episodes. Although the episodes include the Duchess in deep conversations with A-list celebrities, with guests including Jamila Jamil, Serena Williams, Paris Hilton, and Mindy Kaling, they also have clips of experts, academics, and authors talking about specific topics, including Yarrow, psychologist Laura Cray, and sociologist Nancy Wang Yuan. The audio clips of the experts have been cut and interwoven between audio of Markle, so it's not clear whether she spoke to any of the experts herself. Sounds like a totally legit show, right? Yeah, no, I don't think so. As I said, it's becoming clear why Bill Simmons called them effing grifters. The loss of future Spotify income for the royal couple isn't exactly going to help them, especially with expenses associated with their costly $14.65 million Montecito, California mansion, its staff, and security that they need to pay for. As I said in my previous video, the royal couple who chose to quit the royal family in 2020 may have to try and regain public sympathy with more unsubstantiated claims in another crappy Netflix docuseries or perhaps in a sequel to Harry's memoir Spare. Ultimately, these new allegations don't help their credibility or public sympathy. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.